So guys, it's the new year and we're probably all thinking about what guitar gear we want to purchase in 2022, but before you go and click on another tab and start adding guitars to that basket, it's worth just taking a step back because we might all be about to make a massive mistake. Let me explain why. What's up everyone, my name is Chris Harvey. Welcome to my YouTube channel where I post weekly content about all things guitar related, helping you guys navigate the wonderful world of guitar. So if you are new around here and you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button just so you don't miss a future upload. So on to this massive topic around buying gear, because this year is going to be a particularly interesting one. Now, I'm not going to mention the elephant in the room that we've all been having to endure for the last couple of years. The world has definitely struggled in a lot of different ways, and the guitar industry, on the one hand, has done really well, but 2 years on, the wheels might be starting to come off. And that is definitely something that us consumers need to be wary of. Now, I'm not here to tell you what to do, how to spend your money, and what you should be buying, but Andy Mooney, who is the CEO of Fender this week, came out to give a little bit of a reality check to everyone who's looking to spend money in the industry, because there's no getting away from the fact that there are some definite issues in the supply chain.
It's going well, it's very, very well organised.
And those issues are unfortunately being passed down to the consumers, and it's us who are pretty much taking the bullet for that. Now, Andy did mention that Fender are kind of coping slightly better than some of the other manufacturers in the industry, but there's no question that everybody is feeling the pinch at the moment. And Fender's issues are mainly around the supply chain. They're really struggling to get chips, which are main components of some of their digital modeling amplifiers, which are really, really popular. And across all the manufacturers, issues in the supply chain are just meaning that things are not getting out of the factories, into the stores, and into our hands. And that's pretty sad for us. Now, in an article in MusicRadar, Andy Mooney was pretty transparent in saying that due to all of these issues with demand and supply chain, that Fender have increased their prices by around 10% in the last 12 months. Bad news for us. And the reason for that, I think, is probably due to the demand and Fender trying to, I guess, stop people from actually spending their money at Fender.
It's going well, it's very, very well organised.
If they increase the prices, that will probably stop people from buying, which means they get a little bit more time to catch up and fulfill orders. And that is definitely something that I imagine other people in the industry, other manufacturers, aside from Fender, are probably doing as well, but maybe just not being so vocal about it. It's no secret that in the last couple of years, the guitar industry has really boomed. There's been so many people that have taken up the guitar, probably due to being at home for large stretches of time over the last 18 months to 2 years. And with Fender making their Fender Play app, which has definitely encouraged a lot of beginners to learn the instrument through lessons and tuition, it seems like they've pretty much caused this issue for themselves. I mean, they've got so many more people into guitars, and now they're at a point where they can't actually give people who want to learn, they can't actually put the guitars in their hands. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Unlucky, Fender. So what does that mean for us? Why are we potentially going to make a massive mistake by buying new gear in 2022? Well, it all comes down to that inflation in price and potentially down to the amount of choice that you're going to have and how long you might potentially have to wait to get a new guitar in your hands. Andy said in a statement that Fender are kind of coping a lot better than other manufacturers in the industry. But with that being said, he still thinks it's going to be about 2 to 3 quarters before things start to necessarily even out and things start to maybe become slightly more available and these challenges will start to kind of, solve themselves. So really that takes us into the latter half of 2022. So if you're going to be buying a new instrument this year, buying new might not be the way to go. And for me personally, this isn't a big deal because I haven't really bought a brand new guitar in probably over 10 years because in my world and for what I do, having something that's brand new out of the box isn't really that important to me. The most important thing for me is getting the best guitar that I can for the money that I have. Especially being a session guitarist and doing lessons and recording, really the fact that a guitar is brand new out of the factory, it makes no odds, because there are so many great second-hand guitars, so many guitars that you'll find on Facebook or eBay or Reverb that are pretty much brand new instruments, but maybe someone's bought it, fallen out of love with it, they want to move it on. So there are loads of bargains out there online. All you have to do is a little bit of digging and you'll probably find yourself a really good deal. The last guitar that I bought, which you've probably seen on this channel a load of times, is the 50s modified Ventera Fender, which is out of the Mexican factory. And I bought this one second-hand in 2020. I paid about £500 for it, which is around about £350 cheaper than it would be brand new. The guy had only owned it for about a year, has a couple of dings on it because the finish is pretty light, but other than that, you'd never really tell that it was a second-hand guitar. And it plays great, sounds great, records well. That's pretty much all I'm looking for. So I guess the whole point of this video, without being preachy about it, is to try and give this industry that we love so much, the guitar industry, a bit of a break, because it's struggling at the minute. There are a lot of manufacturers out there that are really struggling to cope with demand, and maybe we should really kind of take our foot off the gas a little bit, you know, be a little bit more patient, maybe kind of hold off a little bit, let things start to kind of slow down, and then we can inject all of our hard-earned cash, maybe in 2023, where we're not going to have to wait and be disappointed. Because really, sales figures across all the manufacturers are probably really good. It's been a great year. It's been a great couple of years for the guitar industry. So they're not struggling financially. But in terms of labor and man hours and shipping and fulfillment and all that stuff, they need a break. So my advice to you guys would just be to buy second-hand. Find yourself a bargain. Maybe instead of getting one guitar, brand new, maybe you can get a couple of cheaper guitars, turn one into a bit of a project, have something to kind of, you know, tie you over for the next 12 months, and let's just kind of see what happens. Anyway, this was my news bulletin for the guitar industry. It was just something that I read that I thought was pretty interesting, and it's probably something worth sharing because, hey, we've all struggled over the last couple of years, and we don't want to be spending more money than we have to. We want to be buying stuff for market value, and we don't want to be having to spend more just because of issues in the supply chain that, quite frankly, are nothing to do with us. But maybe they are a bit because of us buying stuff. But it doesn't matter. The point is, find a bargain. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you are new around here, like I said, do give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you find it interesting, and I will see you all next Tuesday for another video.